They gave me like, I think 45 minutes in Chicago, and I think I went over by like 20 minutes. So I don't know what I'm going to tell in 15 minutes. It's good to be with you guys. I always love to be around, cool people, and I consider, Empower Network to be my, second family, because you guys are just cool. So what I want to do is, I want to get straight to the, to the things that I wanted to share with you. Okay, I'm the kind of guy who, I don't want to pump you up. You guys are already pumped, yes? Yeah. What you guys thought about the yesterday's, the End 2.0 version? I think he's going to triple my income just like that. You know why? Because I think that every single entrepreneur, every single person who is doing any kind of business, online or offline, right? Network marketers, affiliate marketers, personal, info marketers, offline mom and pop shop owners, right? Diaper sellers, flower shop owners. Anybody will be able to use this product, and they will need it, right? So, to communicate. So I think what's about to happen here to the Empower world is the doors are about to just open like it has never been opened before. And we need to be ready, don't we?
Yeah.
Right? So what I want to talk to you guys about is, I want to talk about from, some things that I have experienced and some things that have helped me, get me to where I'm at today in business. And, I don't see myself as somebody who's, quote unquote, a riot or whatever. I'm just having fun. This business thing is for lack of a better word, it's a game for me. But it's a game that I like to play because I don't consider this work. I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. When I see a lot of you guys in the hallways and you guys coming up and saying, "Vick, thank you." One idea that I got from you, one idea that I got from people who were on this stage before me made a difference for me. That's important. That's important for us. And so what I want to talk to you guys about is how do you build your business so that you can be up here on stage, and every one of you guys have the same potential. I'm coming from a very, very humble background. My parents. I came to the States when I was 12 years old. Right. My parents were very hardworking parents. They gave us the best they could from what they had. Right. But I don't remember myself going and traveling going to like any vacations when I was a kid. Our vacations was going to the grandpa's house and grandma's house. But when I got married, I wanted to give my kids what I did not have myself, right? And I got the best parents in the world. So my thing is, when I got to this industry, I wanted, I had a dream, I had a desire, and I told you guys that in Chicago. I don't want to repeat myself, but I do want to kind of boil everything down. And I was like this morning, I woke up and they told me I'm going to be speaking, and I'm like, "What's the topic?" They're like, "Whatever you want to talk about." So I guess I can tell you jokes, or I can tell you how to build a business. But I think it would be useful to to talk about building a business. So friends, here's what everything boils down to this, and I want to leave you with this because it's not going to be theory. It's going to be I'm going to teach you from experience. I never ever want to teach theory, okay? And something I'm going to recommend to you guys as well. Don't teach from theory. Teach from experience, okay? Because when you teach, like if you heard somebody saying something and then you're going to rehash it yourself, but you've never experienced it, it's going to be difficult for you to connect to that person, right? It's going to be difficult for you to get your message across in a way so that it would affect that person that's listening to you. But if you have, if you lived it, if if you actually experienced it, then it's easy for you to transfer that, right? And selling, folks, is a transference of feelings. Okay, selling is a transference of feelings. So how you feel about what you're doing, deep down, not on your surface level. But deep down, how you feel about it, is what's going to transfer over. So, when I got started in this business, it was 8 years ago. Before that, I was broke. Okay, I was at the point in my life we did not have $1.19 to my name. But I was just fortunate enough to come across some right people in my, early in my career, and I was smart enough to listen to them. I had a mentor who said, "Vick, he told me what I needed to hear. He didn't tell me what I wanted to hear." A lot of times we We go to our uplines or we go to our sponsors and, we're asking them questions, and then when they tell us something, we don't like that answer, right? And then we're looking for a different answer, right? My mentor said, Vic, before you start talking about building your business, before you start talking about making money, he said, in 3 to 5 years from now, you will be like the books you read and people you hang out with, period. And you know what I said? I said, I like that, but I don't like the 3 to 5 years part. I want to make it quicker. He said, you can't. He said, you can do that, you can compress time frames. And I said, how do you do that? Because keep in mind, I'm broke, and this guy is earning $200,000 a month. Okay? And I want to be like him. Okay? Folks, if I can tell you anything right now, right? And that would be this. Your current situation doesn't matter. Some of you guys, how many of you guys had to go through like enormous struggles to get here? Yeah? How many of you guys are currently experiencing turbulence in your business right now? A lot of you, okay? I was that guy. I was that guy. Folks, right now I can look any one of you in the eyes and I can tell you that you can do this. Okay? Because I've done it, folks. And why am I so confident when I talk about this stuff? Is because I lived it. And not only that it worked for me, you guys heard Paulo Barroso last night, right? And he said there was a 30-day little deal that he went through that allowed him to have a massive breakthrough. And the guy earned like over $200,000 in like 6 months with the Power Network, right? Again, talking about incomes, results are not typical. You can make zero, you can die, I don't know, But when you do, when you work, right? When you work and you do certain things a certain way, folks, it will work for anybody, regardless of your experience, regardless of how bad you're struggling right now. Okay? I don't buy any excuses. Here is what my mentor said. He said, Vic, you can compress time frames, and you can do that by just taking massive action in the areas that I'm going to tell you. And he said, look, before you're going to start building your business, you have to have a clear idea and a clear picture of what your business is going to look like. Okay? We're going to talk about marketing, guys. I'm going to give you some marketing advice. I'm going to give you a lot of tips when it comes to like building your actual business, the actual how-to, right? Before we can get there, I want to make sure that you guys, everybody in this room, if you guys just get this, I promise you, in the next 6 to 12 months, you can be on stage like Paulo Barroso. Okay? You can be earning $40,000 a month. You can be earning $50,000 a month. You can be earning $100,000 a month. The difference is going to be, and I don't say this just to say it, guys. I believe it. Okay? So here's the deal. Imagine this, this convention center, right? Before they built it, what needed to happen? Somebody, an architect, they had a clear picture of what this whole thing is going to look like, didn't they? It was very, very clear. They didn't start building it and then say, okay, we're just going to do this, and then we'll get to tomorrow, we'll figure out what to do next. Right? Imagine what would happen. Imagine building a skyscraper and the guys building it, they're like, well, we're just going to, lay these bricks here or blocks or whatever, put these panels up, and then we'll see. We'll see where this goes. Right? You see, guys, that's how a lot of people build in their business. They start and they say, well, I don't really know. I'll just go with the flow and see what's going to happen. They don't know what they're going to do, a month from today, a year from today. They don't know what their business is going to look like. Okay, and see what happens is they're building this skyscraper, and this is for lack of a better metaphor, I'll just use this for example because it relates to what we do. Okay, they're building their skyscraper, their business, right? They're looking at Vick's business right here. All right, this is his big skyscraper, whatever, and I'm whatever I was able to achieve up to this point. They look at Tony Rush, Aaron Reshkin, Tracy Walker, and Lawrence Stam, and they're saying, how awesome would it be for me to have that? And you know what most people do? They're jealous. They get jealous, right? But see, the reality is, what's the difference between his business and your business? It's because he built it, doing certain things a certain way. And what most people are doing is they get it up to like the second floor, right? And because they don't lay the foundational stuff right, their whole structure collapses. And they're trying to rebuild it again, right? And people jumping from business to business to business to business, right? Blaming the opportunity, blaming the sponsors, blaming the company, the compensation plan, the products. They're blaming everybody but themselves. But see, the reality is they're going from this business to this business, taking the same person to the next company. It's not the business that's going to make you successful, okay? I cannot make you successful. Nobody here can make you successful. You can make yourself successful, okay? I want everybody to understand that. So if we think about it, you know, as business owners, we need to be very, very clear. Number one, there's three things I want to talk to you guys about, okay? Number one is and I start all of my teachings, you know, all my coaching with this: foundation, okay? Foundational stuff. What is that? Well, thing number one in the first category is you have to have a clear vision what your perfect business, your perfect life would look like. When was that? Friday? I think Friday Dave talked about the clarity, right? Friday was all about clarity. You know, how many of you, and I'm just curious, okay, just be honest, how many of you guys actually sat down with a pad and pen and wrote down, if you could create your perfect day, if you had the magical powers to create it any way you wanted, how would that look like? I'm talking about, like, you wake up in the morning, right? What do? You know, what time you wake up? Where do you go to eat breakfast? With whom you eating breakfast? What are your activities throughout the day? How do you feel about, when you wake up? How do you feel about your day? How do you feel about your life? Like, how many of you guys actually have that written down?
Yeah!
Give yourself a hand. For those of you guys who have that, give yourself a hand. That is probably the most important thing you can do. Okay, is get very, very, very clear down to the detail. So the second thing, what we need is we need inspiration. Okay, we have this blueprint, we have this vision of what we want, right? Then what we need is we need inspiration, because we can have this, and if we're lacking inspiration, and here's the best metaphor I can tell you for inspiration thing, right? Is that picture an airplane, yeah, Boeing 777, right? It's on a runway and it's about to take off. The runway has to be long enough for the plane to get to a certain speed before it can take off, right? What would happen if the plane just, it would go and it would get up to 100 miles an hour and then it tries to take off? It's gonna crash, right? It's not gonna work. In our business, we need inspiration, folks. Inspiration is the runway and this airplane heading. You get to a certain point, you come to these events, and that's why it's so critical to come to events, because you get to a point. If you listen to Inner Circles audios long enough, right? You watch other successful people long enough. You read long enough, right? You think about your goals long enough, folks. The more inspiration you put in, the more inspirational stories that you look up to, right? That's why I'm saying, hey, turn off all the negativity around you. Don't tolerate that, because that's going to kill your inspiration. Okay? Look at people who are going in the direction you want to go. You have this perfect, image of what you want your life, your business to be like. Look at people who have that and get around them as much as possible, okay? Because you need to get inspired. We need to get inspired. The reason I come to these events, part of the big reason why I'm here is because I want to be inspired. When I hear people on stage here, when I talk to Dave and Dave, I get inspired. I get inspired and I get fired up. We need that. People say, I don't need inspiration, I just want to know the how to. No, we need inspiration, right? Third thing in this first category, in the foundational stuff is, and this is a big one, okay? And when I discovered this, I changed a lot of my thought process. Was changed, and that is this: if I was to, what's your name, man? Tamara, how you doing? Give Tamara a hand, guys. Tamara, if I was to ask you, give me 3 of your I ams. Like I am, myself. Like I'm a guy. I'm 29 years old. What will be your 3 I ams for you? Yeah, like I am such and such. I am this. I'm that. Like, what would be the 3 I ams? I'm a very powerful woman. Cool. I'm a very loving, giving person. I'm very focused and driven. Awesome. What's your name, bro? Yeah. Thomas, give me your 3 I ams, real quick. Just say anything. I'm a Polish dancer.
I am a giver of light.
I'm a giver of light.
And I am always associating myself with more knowledge and growth by taking in as much understanding from top
I'm always associating myself with top leaders and see myself, yeah, cool. Here's, give Thomas a hand, guys. You guys did better than most people, okay? When I talk to people and say, hey, give me your 3 IMs, people say, well, I'm an engineer, I'm, male, I'm married, and I'm, and that's about it, You guys actually went a little bit further. Here is what I've discovered. This concept called the I am concept, right? Think about this. How would you feel if you would see yourself as this? I am a leader. And I'm not talking about leading people, guys. Okay? I am a leader. If you ask me, Vic, what's your, I ams? The big one is I am a leader. And what I mean by that is, I'm a leader of myself. First. Okay? If we can't lead ourselves, we can't lead others. And if we can't lead others, we can't build a successful business. Okay? Does that make sense, guys? So if you think about this, and if you adapt this belief about yourself, and you have to do it internally, right? I'm a leader, because you guys are leaders. Non-leaders don't come to events like this, guys. We should stay at home. You guys are leaders. Okay? You guys believe that? That will shift your focus. That will shift the way you do business and the way you interact with people is, I am a leader. And you don't have to have this ego. The worst thing, the fastest way you can crush your business and just, and shut down that valve of prosperity or whatever you want to call it, that pipe that will deliver you all the good stuff, right, is when you have your ego, getting ahead of you, okay? No egos. And Power Network has no egos. That's what I love about this company. Dave and Dave, they got no egos, okay? And as a leader, guys, as a leader of yourself, you have to be, leaders are servants, right? If you have that attitude that I am a leader, and I'm a leader of myself first, and every single day, you say, I'm a leader. And what do leaders do? Leaders do what needs to be done regardless of how they feel, okay? So, that's kind of the fundamentals. So how do you do that? Folks, I'm big on reading. Again, I told it, you guys listen probably to the inner circle stuff. In Chicago, I was always talking about reading, listening, getting yourself around people who are going in the direction you want to go. I listen to Empower Inner Circles every single day. This morning,